let's pick up where we left off. What stories lie within these This is a realm created from melodies. Music can transcend space and time to bring memories and stories to life. No. Normally, you can't perceive the frequencies in a melody. But that manuscript lets you see the world as I do. That part with the daemons should be right here.
They burn in despair, resentful of the Order's verdict, till their last breath. Their last work is nothing but a curse upon us all.
It's the same as what we heard before. But now I see something. A balance scale with a crowd of people standing on one of the pans. What are they weighing?
The two sides of the scale represent differing perspectives. Once a work is made public, its meaning no longer belongs to its creator alone, but is shaped by the interpretations of its readers. Perhaps it was a simple poem at first, nothing more. But then that article claimed it was a curse upon Raguna. Given that members of the Golden Anthem were banished on the Pilgrim's sail and died in a fire, the notion quickly took hold. No one knew exactly what happened, so they filled in the gaps with their imaginations. With motive and a complete story. Perhaps that's all it took for a lie to become the truth. Each time someone plays their last work, it summons daemons. This is the Golden Anthem's revenge and curse upon Raguna. Still, words and imagination alone cannot bring something into existence. Yes, someone must have used them to create the daemons. What if the mastermind pulling the strings from the shadows is the author of that article? Daemons are bound to their creator, so it might not be a coincidence you felt them target you at the restaurant. There could be a connection between you and this mastermind. Or perhaps they have their own reasons for wanting to see you silenced. Imagination knows no bounds. If left unchecked, such incidents will only increase. For resonators, dealing with them isn't much of a challenge. But for ordinary folk, it's enough to spark panic across the city. Finding the one pulling the strings should be our priority. If the daemons are born from the public's imagination, then things will shift once we catch whoever is responsible for starting this in the first place. This mastermind has gone to great lengths to twist the facts, stirring fear and turning it into resentment. Maybe an attempt to cover up certain stories about the Poet Society. He must be tied to them somehow. If we can learn more about the Golden Anthem, we might be one step closer to catching him. Music and poetry are born from kindness and hope. Yet now they've been twisted to create these monstrosities. Whoever is behind this won't just sit back and watch. The thought of confronting them is already inspiring me to write a ballad. What should I call it? Which instruments would fit?
Our enemy hides in the dark, while we remain in the light. If that's the case, we need to split up. With your tenacity and Kona's expertise, we will uncover the truth. Someone has pointed a gun at Cat's Eye. Someone ought to pull back the curtain and expose them. The family has its ways. Tracing the article's source and finding this mastermind won't be a problem.
If we find melodies connected to the Poets Society, I can bring the past into clearer focus. I've got it, Rover! I know a place where they've definitely left their mark. Let's go! Onward to new melodies! I really admire the wind. It's free to go anywhere without restraint. If only it could carry my poems into the hands of everyone across the world. Ta-da! Welcome to Requiem Paradise. This is where Raguna's musicians lay their old instruments to rest. For the people of Raguna, the sea is everything. We live and sleep by the sea, and our souls drift out to sea when we pass. Since an instrument is an extension of the musician, it's only fitting that it's buried by the sea. May its dreams be long and sweet before returning to the waves. I'm certain this is where the poets of the Golden Anthem laid their instruments to rest before their banishment. What's wrong? You seem troubled. Is that what's been on your mind this whole time? I say, if the answers aren't coming, let it all go and clear your mind. To be honest, I haven't found any leads either. But worry not. This is what we bards call a bottleneck. Once, I spent 3 days just trying to find the right words to describe a tree. Couldn't do it. Not one word. So, I stood under that tree and prayed for an apple to fall on my head. You know, just like in those stories where inspiration strikes after an apple hits you. And, well, at least you get a snack out of it. The apples never fell. I stood under that tree until I couldn't any longer, but still no inspiration came. Try it.
Huh? It's a real apple.
Later, when I finally decided to leave, I looked up through the gaps in the branches and suddenly saw a blooming flower atop a cliff. Turns out, even without an apple, inspiration may yet strike. But if I hadn't stood there, I might have missed that unexpected burst of beauty. So, maybe this is enough. Let's put aside heavy thoughts and continue our walk with a clear mind.
I'm starting to understand why Carlotta calls you Topaz.
Is that so? But I'm nowhere near as dazzling as the sun. If anything, I'd rather be like Icarus in the story. Soaring freely in the sky, even if it means falling in the end. I sense the melody of an instrument close by. Let's search for it. A flute, but it sounds sharp and harsh. If this were a performance, I'd say it's trying to finish as quickly as possible, barely giving the notes a chance to breathe. A harp. It's in excellent condition, but its tone is flat and dull. Let's keep it for now and see if there are any other instruments nearby. Is that a lute? Its echoes are faint. Perhaps because it's been abandoned longer. Wait. The sound may be weak, but there's an undeniable strength to it. Rover, behind you! It seems this lute likely belongs to a member of the Poet Society. Which is to say, it holds the melodies they left behind. A perfect chord. Presenting a poem of finale. Oh, leave it to me. The picture's good. For watching! The timbre also matches. I believe this lute is exactly what we've been looking for. Sometimes, even when the instruments are the same, the performer's mood can change the entire sound. For example, this lute doesn't seek to boast. It speaks softly, like a traveler sharing a story over tea in the warmth of an afternoon. The true purpose of music is to express what words cannot. Rover, if there's something you want to say but can't put into words, if you sing it, maybe I'll understand.
But I haven't even heard you sing yet.
Me? Perhaps another time. Once all this is settled, I'll perform for you. Be sure to listen closely then. Now, it's in the lute's hands. I hope this melody holds a tale worth telling. Listen, I hear something up ahead. It seems like an interrogation room. This melody carries the weight of the Poet Society interrogation. Take care with each step. The melodies left by these instruments are extremely fragile. The realm we're about to enter will appear fragmented. We may find ourselves straddling vast rifts in time and space. A single misstep could draw us into other melodies.
Farrell of the Golden Anthem. Know that Imperator is stern, yet merciful. The Codex teaches us that those whose sins are cleansed by the sea shall remain blessed by the sea. It is a grave offense to slander the Sentinel. This includes your claim that the Sentinel's true form is a steed of the skies. I was told you found this lie carved on a lithograph. In the face of the tempest, a giant celestial steed carved a path for the Ark. How absurd. If you admit you were mistaken at tomorrow's trial and reveal where you have hidden the evidence, I will move mountains to protect you and your companions. Remember, Imperator only responds to repentance, not silence.
I'm sorry, Sir Acolyte. I'm doing my best to cooperate. Please don't mistake my silence for defiance. It's just, this room is freezing, and I've caught a chill. Makes it hard to talk. I'm afraid that by the time I see the Sentinel, I will have lost my voice entirely. Perhaps then, they will judge you for silencing a poor transgressor's confession.
As long as you repent and help us destroy those blasphemous poems and songs, the Sentinel shall show mercy. You are a wise man. I trust you will make the right choice. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Good night, Mr. Farrell. I will always be here should you wish to receive the Sentinel's mercy.
No need to worry, Sir Acolyte. In fact, I'm beginning to enjoy the cold.
Neither official nor private records show them as having ever repented in the Cathedral of Mercury. This melody is fading fast. Let's check if there's anything nearby to amplify it.
I understand what we're not adventurers or mighty resonators. Farrell only wanted to share the voice of uncertainty. Our fate has been sealed. All we can do now is choose what we believe and carry what we hope to.
They don't sound like they're full of hatred at all. If anything, they appear to have anticipated what would happen. During the interrogation, they kept their composure and did not offer fierce resistance. In fact, they even showed sympathy for the interrogator.
Everything seems to revolve around the Order. Could they be the ultimate mastermind behind this?
We don't know that for certain. But at least we now know the Poet Society would never place a curse on Raguna.
I knew this was to be our fate. From the moment we uncovered that lithograph, I knew it would come to this. Still, I have no regrets. But if the Sentinel's true form is a flying steed, what does that make the Imperator we've pledged our faith to? All this time, we've been living nothing but a lie.
The Order's stance is that the Poet Society concealed blasphemous works. Yet the Order themselves concealed the lithograph's existence. What were they afraid of? That's right! You must have seen the Sentinel in the inverted tower. To keep the Sentinel's true form a secret, the Order ruined the Golden Anthem's reputation.
Farrell's gone mad. He ought to have hidden the truth in our secret study. Why would he slip this dangerous knowledge into his poems and hand them? We ought to have buried the truth.
Buried the truth. It just occurred to me. Is that our mastermind's true aim? Not only to bury the past, but also to silence those who know the truth. To that end, he stirs panic to deepen Ragonese prejudice against the Poet Society. using this opportunity to create monsters born from our words. Words and music are weapons without form. The melody is fading faster now and becoming unstable. We should leave. We can continue our discussion later.
Where is this place? A study? Chacona, are we? Chacona? We must have gotten separated. Chacona did say even a slight misstep could draw us into other melodies.
You are to build a home here, like seabirds. Dwell upon the water, just as countless stars dot the night sky. I don't know if what I'm feeling is right or wrong. They were clearly the Sentinel's cantors. Why would anyone call them criminals who insulted divinity? This is a poem I've never seen before. It's so different from what they used to write. Do not place flowers on my tomb, for I do not rest beneath the stone. I am the sea wind at Raguna's walls. I am a dawn that breaks through thorns. I am a nighthawk of wings aflame, soaring towards the celestial steed, whose praises I sing and whose true form I behold. A flame, celestial steed, true form I behold.